Obscuria? On this channel, when I'm not talking about the things I've made for Minecraft, I tend to have a track record of covering mods that are pretty massive, because I know them and you know them. They're easy to talk about. This does, however, mean that a lot of smaller mods inevitably get left in the dust. So, whilst I work on a bigger video reviewing every biome and regions unexplored, which you subscribe to catch when it releases, I thought I'd do a little spotlight on some really underrated mods, all of which have less than 10,000 downloads apiece. Let's get into it. Hominid is a mod that adds new zombies to the game. Ooh! Incendiaries purposefully set themselves alight with gasoline tanks and then attempt to rush you down so that you may burn with them. They kind of remind me of a mob I made one time. Minus the gasoline tanks. And also it's glowing. What is going on here? That's a pretty bad shader bug. Oh my, here comes the sun. Juggernauts wear heavy armor that protects them from projectiles and knocks you back far and hard when they hit you with it. I don't really like their purple hair, but otherwise I quite like them. They can do a real number on iron golems before dying to them. Fossilized are skeletons encased in stone that can throw frisbee-like rock discs at the player as opposed to shooting arrows at them. They can be brushed off for a unique skeleton-like armor trim. Nifty. But probably kind of, maybe you should reduce the number of trims you can get from them. This is kind of ridiculous. Hello?
I didn't mean it.
Fashed, scary. They'll eat pretty much any living thing that moves. They're so hungry, in fact, they could. And so they will, first turning them into zombie horses, and then going even further beyond that, turning them into skeleton horses. Freaky! Don't wave your meat don't wave your meat out around these guys, or they'll chase you for it. I really do like how their whole model and energy changes when your meat's out. It's pretty. Finally, the Malefied is a honey-embalmed zombie who's actually, completely incapable of hurting you. That's not mentioned on the CurseForge page. Is that intentional? When hit, he splatters honey around him. This applies healing to anything it touches, including other zombies. Killing it yields a honey bottle, which has been given the honeyed effect upon consumption, healing both you and disabling negative status effects you might have at the same time.
Honey, I'm home.
I always appreciate mods that aim to give combat a little more variation, because as is, it can get pretty stale pretty quickly if you don't go to the lengths to spice things up. I also really appreciate each mob being biome specific too. Gives each biome and each mob more individual character which rules, but they are a bit rough around the edges, I'd say. I think they could be a bit cleaned up, perhaps. Hot Iron completely reworks tool crafting, making it a little more realistic and a lot more long-winded. Speaking of long-winded, I went through the entire process of explaining how to play this mod, and my footage for just didn't record. Great. So let me just get to the point real quick. It is very finicky and long-winded. It's not going to be for everyone, not in the slightest. And being beholden to JEI recipes that are not very clear isn't great either, but I do like this one quite a lot, honestly. It's really charming. Definitely going to be great for bolstering mod packs with a focus on immersion, like the currently in dev Fantasia mod pack that's utilizing it. Shout out to Raki. Maker's Mark is a very small mod by the developer of Tetra, Michaelis, which lets you create and imprint stamps on tools and armor, anything that can break. What this really means is that you get to create a custom tooltip for your item, where you can personally stylize the borders yourself. Using one dye for the primary color, another dye for the secondary color, and a piece of iron for the stamping tool, once it's been created, if set to auto-apply and sitting in your inventory, all newly crafted tools and armors will have the fancy tooltip border too. Alternatively, you can hold the stamp in your main hand, the item in your offhand, and then right-click to apply it manually. It's a really tiny thing, but being able to personalize your tools to this degree is really cool. It's like trims, but for your tooltips. My only complaint is that how the hell do you erase them? What does up plus left click mean? There's no key mappings, there's no config file. It was uploaded and then abandoned, left to die. Why is it all rights reserved? You're not doing anything with it. Something with a little more utility, Arrow Entity Loot Drop rewards you for good aim with your bow by making it that mobs that were successfully shot with the arrows will drop them when they're killed, instead of eating them as they currently do. So, just like when you miss your arrows, you can go and and pick them back up after slaying your enemy. Neat! It's by Boneski. Also by Pepperoni Jabroni, and in the same vein, Forager Bow Enchantment adds an enchantment for bows that teleports items dropped by a mob slain with your bow directly to your inventory. It's even compatible with my archery expansion mods' bows too. Wowza! Stamina by Insane of Mob's Properties Randomness adds a new stamina system that replaces the hunger bar based sprinting mechanic from the base game. It's represented in your health bar. The more hearts you have, the more stamina you have. This means, though, if you lose most of your health in a fight, you lose most of your ability to run away from that fight too, which can catastrophically snowball into an easy death. The amount of time you get to sprint even with full health too is pretty short. Maybe you could configure it to such a degree that losing all your health doesn't make it feel like a complete nightmare to get out of a terribly dangerous situation, but I don't know. I'd have to see a survival mod pack really make the most of it. Zipline is an add-on for connectable chains that adds ziplines. Make the zipline tool, connect 2 chains to 2 fences, and start zipping and sliding all over the place. The lines make this really satisfying noise when you cross them, and when you release from one, you're automatically propelled upwards, incentivizing making zipline networks to fly across your world with. Would doing this invalidate things like horses and such a wee bit? Maybe. But I think they do also create really cool opportunities to build around your world more, and make these ziplines make more contextual sense too. Like this little tree I made. Ooh, I love going fast, so I love this mod. Please download it now! Water bucket! Release is a small mod that adds the releasing mechanic from a Minecraft movie. By crouching and right-clicking whilst midair, you release your water bucket water, throwing it to the ground and letting you clutch. You'd think with how dramatically it was emphasized in the movie that it would have been a teaser for this exact thing being added to the base game. But even if it never comes officially, we at least have it in the form of this cool mod. Do note though that it's broken on 1.20, it just doesn't work. It only works on 1.21. Fella, fix your mod! IllagerBlabber just came out, and it's already hitting pretty good numbers, so I don't imagine it'll be underrated for very long. Still, I'm gonna show it anyway. Illagers can talk now. 300 voice lines, dynamic interactions, the works. Pairs very well with fresh animations, I'm sure. I forgot to test this though. I personally don't like that the Vindicators, and to a lesser extent Pillagers, are so legible. I think the Vindicators making prosodic vocalizations is way better. Feels a lot more in line with the base game's, auditory style. Which this mod does. So it's weird that we have both that and legible language coming from the same faction. Pretty weird. I do like it overall. Cool mod. Crusty Audio is a sound resource pack, a rarity, designed to be used alongside the fairly famous PSX shader. It makes all of Minecraft's sounds sound like they're from an old PlayStation 1 game, but with a bit of extra crunch thrown in for good measure. I bring it up for 2 reasons. 1, it only has 2,000 downloads right now, and 2, I think it pairs brilliantly with the currently uber obscure Blocks 87 resource pack, which makes every sprite follow the NES palette limit. It's so retro! Genuinely though, I've actually been following the development of this pack for quite a long time, as I know the creator of it, and seeing it come fully to fruition has been exceedingly exciting. I even helped make the logo for it. It definitely reaches its full potential when it is paired with the PSX shader and Crusty Audio resource pack, and I really hope it inspires people to make some cool NES-inspired mod packs with it. Amazing work, Francis. Do you guys know of any more cool obscure mods I haven't mentioned? If you do, tell me in the comments below. Subscribe so you can see me talk about them, and check out my other videos on this channel if you want to see more from me. Thanks for watching, I'll see you later. Bye bye!